Learning how to effectively work with the lens blur filter is more than simply moving sliders and pushing buttons. It's about applying creative thinking to our photographs. And here we'll look at another example just to broaden and deepen our understanding of this filter and also to expand about how we could potentially use this filter in order to come up with some interesting effects. Well, this is a pretty straightforward portrait of a really beautiful couple of this bride and groom. And what I want to do is change the overall focus here. I want to bring some focus into this area of the image. I want to bring some of this other area, the lower area, out of focus. Well, to do that, let's first copy our background layer. Press Command or Control J to do that. Name the layer Blur. Next step, let's move over to our Channels panel and then click on the New icon. Let's go ahead and call this layer New. Next, we'll grab our Gradient tool, and with our Gradient tool, we're going to choose this option here, which will allow us to have this really interesting effect. And let me show you what I mean. If we click and drag right now, we can see we have this small little linear line. We'll turn on the visibility of the RGB composite view, and you can start to envision that what you could do is you can click and drag to extend this here. I'm just going to try to find a nice spot for this so that I have this area in focus. Essentially what I'm going for is something that has a broad reach here, but it really focuses in on their eyes and their face. Okay, well, let's give this one a try. Next, we'll turn off the visibility of this layer and target the RGB composite view. From here, we'll go back to the Layers panel. In the Layers panel, what I'm going to do is go ahead and navigate up to my filter. I'll choose Blur and then Lens Blur. Now with this Lens Blur filter, I'm going to choose my source, which I happen to have named New. And in this case, you can kind of see that this focus area just slices right through them there. They're all in focus. Down below, it's not in focus, and it looks pretty nice. Now, if you didn't get it right from the get-go, simply click around. And as you click around, you can change your focus area. And you'll notice that as I change this, I'm changing what area is actually in focus. Let's click and drag down perhaps a little bit lower there. Now you can see their jackets are in focus, faces are out. That doesn't work. We need something much closer. So we have those faces nice and sharp, nice detail in the eyes. But we're just tapping into this blur here in the background as well. All right, well, now that we've dialed this in, all we need to do is simply click OK. And here we have this nice focus effect. Take a look. Here's that before and then now our after, just bringing more focus to the faces here in this couple. Well, just to finish this image off, I thought it'd be kind of fun to crop this photograph in a creative way. In order to do that, I'm going to grab my crop tool and I'll click and drag to extend this over the image. And then I'm simply going to rotate my crop. And again, this is just for fun, just to try to, add a little bit of intrigue to this photograph because it was kind of straightforward. And here I'm just creating a freeform crop, and it's just a rotated version of the photograph. We'll press Enter or Return. And now we can see that we just have this little interesting tilt. It's just a different type of image. And sometimes adding a new crop can add a whole new perspective and just change an image in an interesting way. All right, well, here it is with that new crop. And then if we look at the image, there's our before and after, just adding a bit of blur, bringing the focus in on the bride and groom there, and creating a different type of a look or aesthetic with this photograph.